Well, based on energy, we must have deep comprehensive knowledge about nuclear fusion reaction, nuclear fission reaction, thermonuclear fusion reaction, including alternative source of energy such as geothermal energy, tidal energy, hydroelectricity, and so on. Actually, hydrogen bomb is made on the principle of nuclear fusion reaction. However, atom bomb is made on the principle of nuclear fission reaction. Moreover, hydrogen bomb is much more powerful and destructive in comparison to the atom bomb. Apart from this, alternative sources of energy such as geothermal energy, tidal energy, and hydroelectricity are very crucial in order to prevent from energy crisis in future. So, it must be kept in mind that nuclear fusion reaction, nuclear fission reaction, thermonuclear fusion reaction, including alternative source of energy such as geothermal energy, tidal energy, hydroelectricity are very crucial from conceptual point of view and scientific point of view as well. First of all, let's point out nuclear fusion reaction. Actually, the chemical reaction in which two or more lighter nuclei react each other to form a heavy nucleus along with emission of tremendous energy is known as nuclear fusion reaction. For example, in Sun, two or more hydrogen atoms react each other under suitable condition to form helium atom along with the emission of tremendous solar radiation. Similarly, let's point out nuclear fission reaction. Actually, the chemical reaction in which a massive nucleus is dissociated into two or more lighter nuclei along with the emission of tremendous energy is simply known as nuclear fission reaction. For example, when highly accelerating neutron reacts with uranium, then barium and krypton are produced along with the emission of tremendous energy. In order to understand about nuclear fusion reaction and nuclear fission reaction as deeply as possible, let's figure out the table of comparison of nuclear fusion reaction and nuclear fission reaction. Number 1. The chemical reaction in which two or more lighter nuclei react each other to form a heavy nucleus along with the emission of tremendous energy is known as nuclear fusion reaction. However, the chemical reaction in which a massive nucleus is dissociated into two or more lighter nuclei along with the emission of tremendous energy is known as nuclear fission reaction. Number 2. Nuclear fusion reaction is uncontrollable, whereas nuclear fission reaction is controllable. Number 3. Hydrogen bomb is made on the principle of nuclear fusion reaction. However, atom bomb is made on the principle of nuclear fission reaction. Similarly, let's point out thermonuclear fusion reaction, which is very common in sun in order to radiate solar energy, including heat energy and light energy. Actually, the chemical reaction which occurs in sun, in which two or more lighter nuclei as monotron or hydrogen atom react each other under suitable conditions to form a helium atom, along with the emission of tremendous solar radiation, is known as nuclear fusion reaction. More clearly, in case of sun, different suitable conditions are required in order to complete thermonuclear fusion reaction. So, let's point out different conditions required for occurrence of thermonuclear fusion reaction in sun. Number 1. Adequate hydrogen atoms. Number 2. Sufficient temperature. Number 3. Sufficient density and pressure. Apart from this, thermonuclear fusion reaction is very crucial in case of different stars, including white star, blue stars, light stars, yellow stars, and so on. Most importantly, radiation is emitted from stars by the help of thermonuclear fusion reaction. So, life of stars is determined by the thermonuclear fusion reaction in them. So, it must be kept in mind that stars are possible to exist in the universe until and unless thermonuclear fusion reaction continues in these stars. Based on energy, we need to have deep concept about renewable sources of energy, non-renewable sources of energy, including alternative sources of energy such as geothermal energy, tidal energy, wind energy, hydroelectricity, biogas, and so on. At first, let's point out renewable sources of energy. Actually, the sources of energy which can be used again and again and never be exhausted from the Earth's surface are simply known as renewable sources of energy. For example, solar energy, hydroelectricity, gobar gas power plant, biogas, and so on. Similarly, let's point out non-renewable sources of energy. In fact, the sources of energy which cannot be used again and again and will be exhausted after certain interval of time are called non-renewable sources of energy. For example, mineral oil, fossil fuel, petroleum gases, and so on. Also, let's point out alternative sources of energy. Actually, the sources of energy which are used to reduce the consumption of non-renewable sources of energy in order to prevent from energy crisis in future are simply known as alternative sources of energy. For example, geothermal energy, tidal energy, wind energy, gobar gas power plant, biogas, and so on. Apart from this, we need to have deep concept about alternative sources of energy, including solar energy, geothermal energy, hydroelectricity, gobar gas power plant, tidal energy, biofuel, and so on. So, let's point out solar energy at first. Actually, the heat and light energy radiated from the sun on the Earth's surface is simply known as solar energy. More clearly, the amount of solar energy radiated on the Earth's surface per unit time is 2.7 cross 10 to the power 27 joule. In other words, the amount of solar energy radiated on the Earth's surface per unit time is 173 petawatt or 1.73 cross 10 to the power 17 watt. Most importantly, Based on solar energy, solar constant is one of the most important master points to keep in mind deeply. So, let's point out definition of solar constant. Actually, the amount of solar energy radiated on the Earth's surface per unit time per unit area is simply known as solar constant. More clearly, the value of solar constant is 1.361 kilowatt. Even though hydroelectricity, mineral oil, fossil fuel are outcome of solar energy, it consists of several demerits. So, let's point out major demerits of solar energy. Number one, solar energy is obtained in diffuse form, which is not possible to run industries, factories, and modern electronic devices. Number two, solar energy is not obtained in rainy day and cloudy day. Number three, solar energy is not obtained at night time. Number four, solar energy requires high technology and high budget in order to convert diffuse energy into normal energy. Similarly, let's point out hydroelectricity. Actually, the alternative source of energy, which is generated by rotating turbine by the help of speedy water in water reservoir, is simply known as hydroelectricity. Based on hydroelectricity, we need to have deep concept about different merits. So, let's point out major merits of hydroelectricity. Number one, hydroelectricity is cheaper in comparison to the other sources of energy. Number two, hydroelectricity is pollutionless. That's why it is very important from health point of view. Number three, hydroelectricity is eco-friendly. Number four, hydroelectricity is very easy to run industries, factories, and modern electronic devices. Even though hydroelectricity requires large amounts of budget at the beginning phase, after a long interval of time, it is very easier to use in normal way. That's why, by the help of hydroelectricity, we are using the different modern electronic devices in order to enjoy in this modern world. Also, let's point out geothermal energy. Actually, the heat energy obtained from the hot rocks buried inside the earth crust is simply known as geothermal energy. More clearly, geothermal energy can be obtained by different natural processes which are given below. Number 1, volcanic eruption. Number 2, natural hot spring. Even though geothermal energy is very crucial in our real life, it consists of several demerits. So, let's point out major demerits of geothermal energy. Number 1, geothermal energy requires high technique. Number 2, geothermal energy requires high budget. Number 3, geothermal energy is not possible to obtain throughout the whole world. Similarly, let's point out tidal energy. In fact, the alternative source of energy which is obtained from the tides which occur in sea and ocean is simply known as tidal energy. More clearly, tides are frequently occur in sea and ocean, That's why tidal energy is possible to extract or obtain in those countries which consist of sea and ocean. Apart from this, let's point out biofuel. Actually, the alternative source of energy which is obtained from the biomass is known as biofuel. Most importantly, biofuel consists of several merits. So, let's point out some major merits of biofuel. Number one, biofuel is possible to obtain even in local areas. Number two, biofuel is easy to use. Number three, biofuel does not require modern technology or advanced technology. Number four, biofuel does not require high budget. Based on energy, fossil, fossil fuel, fossilization and mineral oil are very crucial from conceptual point of view and scientific point of view as well. So, let's point out fossil at first. Actually, the dead remnants of plants and animals buried inside the earth crust for long interval of time is simply known as fossil. More clearly, fossils are crucial factor of formation of fossil fuel by the help of fossilization. Similarly, let's point out fossil fuel. In fact, the crude oil obtained from the fossilization process after the long interval of time is simply known as fossil fuel. More clearly, most of the vehicles in this modern world are possible to run by the help of fossil fuel. So, fossil fuel consists of several merits. Here, let's move on to point out some major merits of fossil fuel. Number one, fossil fuel is used to run industries, factories, and different vehicles. Number two, fossil fuel is used to generate electricity. Number three, fossil fuel is used in research center in order to study about geological structure of the earth. Number four, fossil fuel is used as fuel in domestic purposes. Here, fossilization is one of the most important master points to keep in mind deeply. So, let's move on to definition of fossilization. Actually, the geological process of formation of fossil fuel from the fossil after long interval of time is simply known as fossilization. More clearly, in case of fossilization, we need to keep in mind that the branch of science that is concerned to the study of fossil is simply known as paleontology. Also, let's point out mineral oil. Actually, the crude oil obtained from the fossilization process is simply known as mineral oil. More clearly, mineral oil consists of several merits. So, let's point out some major merits of mineral oil. Number one, mineral oil is used to generate electricity. Number two, mineral oil is used to run industries, factories, and vehicles. Number three, mineral oil is used as fuel in domestic purposes. Number four, mineral oil is used in different research centers in order to study about geological structures of the earth. Thank you.